Oh, we started. Okay, that's nice. So, for those who aren't in context, go watch the first part.
Yeah.
Last word I said, well, phrase. Last two words I said according to her.
Megadeth.
Megadeth. It'd just be this Megadeth freeze over of the northern
This
and the
is the
southern
type of
poles.
shit that you take drugs to achieve.
But it'd be a Megadeth freeze over of the northern and the southern poles. So what would happen is that the population of Earth would just slowly start to get closer to the equator, because that's where all the warmth is. Despite there being little to none to begin with, that's where it'll be. So we're gonna group there, and since the majority of people will be there, most of the races, the only real difference in race and gene would come not in just different areas all over the earth, but different points on the line of the equator going in a circle. Right? So it'd be here, 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 and here is where things get furthest apart.
Yeah.
And then that's not really a fixed point. It can be really in any rotation along the equator.
You know what else could be in any rotation
Shut up.
along the equator?
Don't even say it.
Your mom!
Okay, that's a lot better than what I thought you were going to
What?
say.
Did you think I was going to say
I
my
thought
dick?
you were going to talk about
My dick.
tsunami of cum or some shit. Whatever you talked about in the previous part.
Nah, you're right. Look, even the context for Tsunami
Listen.
of Cum is that's what I would call
Oh yeah,
a
was
song.
that even in the first video?
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't even know what we're talking about. To the two people that are gonna watch this video, they that's Mongolian master race declaration.
Genghis Khan's Tsunami of Cum.
No, Genghis Khan, gene sleeper cell, Mongolian master race of the eastern portion of the world.
This is what I have to deal with every day.
And then the Declaration of Independence.
Yes, the
Not now!
now.
Maya, talking about the two outcomes. We're on the first one right now.
Please give them context.
Watch the first video. Two losers that watch this video.
Hey! If my viewers are losers, then what does that make you?
I'm the one who's producing their content, so...
You're the cum chalice.
Okay, outcome one, people condense, and then where the genes completely separate would be on the points, like you have a graph, and it's like that, and then here, and here, this way.
Yeah. No.
This way.
No, we're not trying. We're not doing that.
This horizontally. Not vertically, horizontal.
No,
And
not
then,
vertically. Never vertical. We don't do that here.
And then on those 4 points is where, the furthest, different parts of people's genes would be. Right?
Yeah.
Because they're further apart from everyone. So that would be where, the majority of the gene difference is. And in the intersections, where, it's... Actually, it could be the compass rose, where it's there's 4 points, and then there's points in between.
Hey, what are you talking about?
So it's this, right? Compass rose, and then you have the here and the here and the here. Northwest, southwest, northeast, southeast. In that area, vertically. Right?
You're Yeah.
And then it'd be like that, where it's like greatly different and then greatly similar. Which would be different from greatly different.
Yeah.
But like the closer it gets, like the two things here, they slowly start to blend together. And that's what would happen. And we'd all be on the equator because that's where all the warmth is. The majority of gene difference comes from the points. And the majority of us have the same type of body construct. And then
we really are living in a society right now,
and then we'd
aren't
probably
we?
be all black. We'd probably be all black if we like were on the equator for a really long time.
You right. You right.
I can't remember what it is, but it's like, let me think.
Melanin?
How that comes to be. Like
the sun. It has nothing to do with temperature.
Like,
it's mostly.
I know. But where do you think all the temperature comes from?
Your mom.
The sun.
My dick.
And what comes along with the temperature is the light, and then the certain like divisions of light where you have like light that you can see, and then
yes, who needs
gamma rays and all that. I'm pretty sure that there's a certain light that hits the most on the equator.
Why do I look?
People are of darker color. And we'd all be very tan.
I am so Irish right now. Look at me. I'm fucking Russian, dude.
We'd be tan.
Yeah.
We would be tan.
If
despite it
not
being
black.
really cold.
Yeah.
Because heat doesn't determine the temperature.
Heat doesn't determine the temperature, you say?
Heat doesn't determine the color of your skin.
There we go.
Outcome 2. Which is probably the least
now keep in mind
scenario.
that he's making this shit up as he goes.
Well, it's not really making it up, it's hypothesizing.
Your hypothesis.
That's not even a word, or is it?
It
If
is.
it is, okay.
Your hypotheses are going to lead me to experience brain death. Are you trying to kill me with this pseudo-nerd bullshit?
I'm just speaking. And I want to speak it because if I think it'll just get brushed over.
Right.
By the other...
Go ahead and speak. Who am I to deny you free speech? Ah! You son of a bitch. I will end your entire reincarnation cycle.
Good luck. You do that, you have a couple of higher powers on your ass.
Oh, they're already on my ass.
They'll have even more reason. They'll be more determined. Okay, shut up. Ice Age.
Right, that's what this was about.
See, this is what happens. Even if I do speak about it, this is like the other thoughts in my head. People. This.
Together we are ADHD.
This is like the other thoughts in my head.
Hi, I'm the other thoughts in his head.
It's like you have a... God damn it, I was about to say something about train stations. Ice Age.
I feel like it would be more accurate to say it's like planes and shit. Only one can be in the sky at one
This is what
time.
I'm talking about.
Anyway, continue on with your Ice Age.
Ice Age. Outcome 2. People take the risk of going up to the poles and not collecting around the equator. Either they die off, and then outcome 1 happens in a different way, or they evolve to even more extreme cold. And then they would have like, they'd be like white or like of a brighter skin tone.
Neon yellow. You said bright.
They'd be of a brighter skin tone, and their beards, their like facial hair would be cracked out. Like they'd have so much of it, because if not, their face would just like freeze over. Like it'd become really thick, right?
So either we're black or we're Chewbacca.
Well, not necessarily black, but just tan.
So either we're Tumblr's ideal person or we're Chewbacca.
I don't know what that. The only thing I know what. The people want sexy Lucifer.
Yeah.
Sadly, I know that.
Yeah. I'm one of those people. That's probably why God's on my ass.
Don't say it like that. Ice Age Outcome 2. They evolve to be like hyper cold resistant. And then the structure of their body is very thick. And they have very like thick hair. Their hair is
Thick, you
thick,
say?
they are thick. Because they need to be
Are
like,
they dummy thick?
it's like a whale.
Are they dummy
Right? They
thick?
have like blubber, so they like stay warm.
I'm a whale. I'm fat as fuck.
And they stay warm. Right? And the same thing happens to the animals. Keep in mind, this is like Ice Age, right? This is the two paths that people take. There's like woolly mammoths and saber-tooths. So basically, the people in the northern poles
Question.
will be genetically superior, because not only will they have to be bigger, like wider, but they'll have to be taller and stronger, because that's where the mammoths will be. The woolly mammoths and the saber-tooths.
Question. Have we domesticated the woolly mammoths yet?
Maya, we're
It's valid.
We're not
question.
talking about this yet. This is
Yet.
this is like an overarching timeline.
Yet.
You have two timelines, and then it's the main points. The subsets, or like the little gaps between time, like the 1900s to the 19th century to the 20th century to the 21st century, and like the developments that happened between that are not on the big timeline. The big timeline is talking about the progression of of humans and how they turn out to be.
Continue. I only talk at points when you think I don't want. When you think
The
that
northern and the southern people, the people that didn't cower to the equator like pussies, would be genetically superior
That's a hot
because they'd have to be stronger and bigger.
take. Aren't
And
the
those
people
two
at the
things kinda
equator
correlate.
black though?
They're tan.
Are you saying light skin's better?
They're gonna be white. Why do you think the most Canadians are white?
Because they're fucking
Because they're
Canadian.
northern. And then, now like I was saying, subsets of the timeline.
Yeah.
I think Outcome 2 is more interesting.
Oh, do you?
Because then you have conflicting gene pools.
Okay.
Right? So... let's say
Hypothetically,
that
I'm doing your mom.
most of like the cultural things. Now, like on the equator, things will be different.
Of course.
It'll all be different.
Yeah.
But not if, but when, in this different universe, when the northern tribes start having fights.
You said northern tribes, and I
And
immediately...
southern tribes.
Hi, we're Avatar: Last Airbender right now.
When they start to fight to establish a base of operations on the pole,
Yeah.
they will be the superior people. They will be the strongest.
Yeah.
Do you know how in Greenland they have like the average height there is like 7'80"?
Why do you think I...
Like their average height's like 13 meters tall, because they used to be Vikings. They still are Vikings. They just modernized. Vikings haven't gone away. They just modernized.
Are you sure? Is that canon to reality?
Why would the Vikings just go away? They just modernized.
That's a good
Like the
question.
Mongolians should have.
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan.
And his sleeper cell
Gene-
agent Gene.
Gene sleeper cells. But and then the gene pools and the people that will establish their kingdoms on the top and the bottom of the earth will be the strongest. Right?
Yeah.
And then it's like literally, it's like you have this orb. No.
That's what the Earth
No,
is.
no. It's not a perfect circle.
It's draw a
it's
circle,
like a
that's the
scale.
Earth.
It's
Draw
a
a
scale.
circle, that's the Earth. Draw a circle, that's the Earth. I am Italia.
It's a scale. Imagine a circle, and at the top and the bottom of the circle is dark red. And then as it slowly gets closer to the center, it goes through the phases like purple, yellow, green, and then whatever.
Do you forget
White
what comes after green?
Or light green.
Did you forget what comes after green?
What does come after green?
Blue.
Blue. In the center.
No,
That's
you're
like-
forgetting about purple.
When does that... That's right after red. Purple, then red.
Oh, my mistake.
Purple, then red. It
No,
starts
purple's
off
a cool color.
It starts off purple, and then it slowly, that's like hardness. Like, that's like the superiority of the genes. It
Purple
slowly-
is superior.
That's not what this is. It is just a representation in colors.
We're gonna get labeled Nazis for this one, I'll tell you what.
In colors, how the genes differ. And then the graph, the scale that we're going by, like purple, like dark purple is a 10, and then blue is a 1. That's like... So imagine the people back in the hunter-gatherer phases. They're like tanks, right?
Oh,
They
they're
didn't
gonna
really
mix-
live that long at the time because
Oh,
they
they're
didn't
gonna
have modern
tits.
medicine. But they were like built to kill.
And to fuck.
Whatever. Built to kill. So they're like units.
Yeah.
That is pushed to an even further extreme at the poles. And then as it slowly goes down, the people in the center will be beta males.
Yeah.
Now, you could go even further down and, write some story behind this, where it's, the people on the equator.
Do you want people to write fan fiction for ideas?
That thought crossed my mind, but I didn't say it.
I said it.
You
We're on the
said
same wavelength, people.
Surprisingly.
Look, it's the ADHD, I tell ya.
You can have, like, different scenarios of the two outcomes. Like, we could say that, like, the equator people are, since they're, like, they're genetically inferior.
This sounds so racist out of context.
How?
Because people at the equator are generally darker in skin.
It is simply only racist to think about it in that way.
I've been on Tumblr too long.
If that wasn't, if I didn't even say that, then racism wouldn't have crossed your mind.
You're right.
We could make another video about this entirely.
About
It wouldn't
racism?
be long. Like, one of the only ways we could get rid of racism is by forgetting about it. Don't take that advice to the damn T. Like, don't take that to the point. But, you know what I mean. Just, like, stop having racism as a thought process. And then everyone gets along.
Hey, racism. Stop it.
Like, literally, they took off Aunt Jemima's face from the bottle.
Oh,
because
shit,
it was supposed it represents a stereotypical African-American aunt. If racism wasn't even a thought process, that wouldn't have had to happen. Then we'd still have Aunt Jemima as it is. Or as it was.
Do you want... why should... What's
Ice Age, oh my god.
Ice Age, people?
There would be...
Do you want to fuck Aunt Jemima?
There would be... So we can have
Do you
scenarios
want to be
where
Aunt Jemima?
since the people on the equator are genetically inferior, they would, instead of relying on strength of their bodies, and like, the thought processes would be different. It'd still be cold, but it'd be a lot less cold on the equator. So here, on the equator, people think differently and are built different than the people on the poles, right?
Yeah.
So we could say that the people on the equator have evolved, well, not evolved, but built the internet.
Oh, so they're smarter, but they're...
No, they're not smarter. They just think differently. The people on the poles have electricity. Everyone has electricity. That's without question.
Except for us. We don't have electricity. We won't have electricity for another 2 weeks.
We do have electricity now. But since Hurricane Laura decided to run right next, probably like over where we live, on the dot.
Damn. Hurricane Laura was a bitch. She fucked us.
People
straight
on
in
the
the ass,
equator
no lube.
would have evolved like different versions of technology, like internet. Because the people on the poles wouldn't need internet.
Why?
Because they're more localized. It's one kingdom. It's literally a kingdom. And then the people on the equator, they need to reach all around the equator.
They would still probably have internet to talk to the people on the equator.
No, why would they do that? They acknowledge that they're... Okay. The poles have a pride. And they have pride. And their pride is that if in a 1v1 fight of raw strength
Do they have
and
guns?
masculinity, the men of the poles would beat the men of the equator.
Do they have guns, though?
The people on the equator would evolve guns.
They would evolve them.
They would develop them.
They would develop guns?
Right. And then we're kind of gonna deviate even more so from how reality actually works, just to satisfy
Would they get
my
horns?
just to satisfy myself in like the cool factor of this scenario.
You know, I feel like both races, like both groups of people, would still have mermaids.
We have 3 different groups of people. And then there's subsets. We have the North Pole, the Equator, and the South Pole.
Right. They all have mermaids, though. Well, they got the waters and shit. If the Equator people can have guns attached to them...
No! Where did you get that idea from?
Said that they evolved guns.
Okay, that's not what I meant. I don't mean that they have guns built into them. I restated saying
No, they have
develop
guns. They have guns, alright.
The poles have the guns. The Equators are the little beta males.
What a...
They're like Leafy is here. In the sense, not of his mind, but his
Leafy is
physical
here said the
structure.
N-word. Did you know that?
Everyone said the N-word.
I haven't said the N-word.
You've thought about the N-word. That
That's
doesn't mean anything, but the thought crossed your mind to say it. Everyone has heard the N-word before. But that's not the topic.
Just to clarify, though, I'm not racist. I can't say the same about him, but I'm not racist.
I hate everybody.
Oh, you're an equal opportunity racist. Cracker. Beta male cracker.
Actually, if I hate everybody equally, I'm not racist. Let's go! I'm not racist anymore. I just hate everybody. We won. We did it.
We did it, Reddit. We did it.
Oh, God. Okay, stop. And now, we're gonna differ further from reality than we already have. We're gonna go off the rails.
We've already gone off the rails.
Further than we have already. The people on the Equator have developed guns and, like, armor and technologies. And the people on the poles are superhumans.
They got guns, bitch.
They can be shot by a 50 caliber cannonball, like, sized bullet shot from a tank to the chest. Our tanks, not Equator tanks. I'll explain that later.
I'm going to go check on the upload for part 1.
Our current tanks could shoot a pole person, not like a pole, but like a person from the poles, square in the chest, and then the bullet would flatten like a pancake. That's the level they're at. Now, like I said, we're different. We are off the rails. Reality has no bearings on what I'm about to speak of. We're off the rails, people. The people in the poles.
Hey, good news. Part 1's been uploaded.
The people on the poles. People in the poles, they are superhuman beings.
My dick's super.
Like they're 20 times faster, 20 times stronger, and their reaction skills are 20 times sharper.
Well, we still have cats.
They
in
are
this
20
universe.
times more advanced physically and mentally in different ways. Mentally in different ways, physically in only one way, meaning they're bigger and stronger. No one is mentally inferior. And if you think about it, every people is equal because the Equator have evolved like mech suit exoskeletons that put them on par with the pole people. Because if they didn't, the pole people would eventually just raise the Equator.
Are you saying that the people at the Equator are insects? They have exoskeletons.
They have mech suits.
Oh. Let's say they have exoskeletons, though.
And then the mech suits and the pole people can fight head to head.
I like how we're not even
Because-
halfway done with this train of
Because
thought.
that's the people on the equator needed to evolve, not evolve, because you'd think that they'd become insect people.
Well, it's cooler if they do.
How would that even happen? What horrible mutation in the gene, like genetic mutation, would have to go horribly wrong for them to evolve in that way? And then, even if that mutation does occur, to have that person with the mutated genes breed, they'd be outcast among everyone. No one would like the bug person. Not at all.
Well, there's gotta be one person with a very specific fetish.
And okay, so it's mech suits versus superhumans.
Also, can we talk about fetishes for a second? They are
No.
They are social constructs.
Shut up. Sorry. Stop talking. Mech versus superhuman. Now, we're not talking about, like... When I say superhuman, I don't mean that they just have an unnatural... Like, compared to how they look, how their muscles appear, it would make sense that they're this strong and fast. And given how they evolved, it would make sense that the reflexes are that fast. So that's superhuman. We're not talking about, like, flying. We're not talking about Superman superhumans. Not Superman superhuman, but, like,
superhuman.
buff, like Hulk.
Is Aaron Hansen the ideal male?
What are you even talking about? I don't even know who that is.
Do you not watch Game Grumps?
No?
Oh.
The only thing I know about Game Grumps is one thing from a very specific episode that I watched only once, and it was the only thing I ever watched the Game Grumps for. It's one specific scenario talking about cranberries.
What game were they playing?
I don't know.
You remember cranberries, though.
Yeah, you could probably find an animation of it.
No. Maybe. I've looked through most of the animation. Who brought up cranberries, though? Was it Dan or Aaron?
You brought up Game Grumps, and I said cranberries.
No, I'm talking about in the episode that you watched, dumbass.
I don't know. I only watched it once, like 5 years ago.
Oh, shit. Was Dan part of Game Grumps then?
Probably not.
He's been there for 7 years, I think.
I have no clue then.
Time is an illusion. No. I don't fucking know. I don't know the Game Grumps timeline.
So now, the mechas and the superhumans. Now, superhuman... Okay, think about this. Everyone is built like the Hulk. On the poles. They're not green. They're not like blinded by rage. They're smart. They're very smart. Everyone's very smart. They're not stupid and driven by anger. They don't grow bigger. They're just already big. They're smart. They're coherent and intelligent.
Damn, the women must have... What's the tit size?
That is up for interpretation. It's as simple as I can put it. But it's like everyone's built like the Hulk.
What's the dick
but
size?
they're pale. Not the dicks. But the people on the poles are pale.
Yeah.
They're very they're built like the Hulk. They're really tall. Like 10 feet.
That's pretty damn tall.
And then the mechs. However you want to interpret the concept
Mikey,
of
guess
a mech.
what?
They're as tall.
Wait, hold up. Stop talking for a second. Since you're into D&D now, whenever we get through the campaign...
Yeah, when does that happen? It hasn't even started yet.
I don't know. But when we get through with this campaign, we could bring your fucking Ice Age shit to life.
The possibilities are unlimited.
For D&D or for your Ice Age bullshit?
Everything. Whatever goes on in here is an exponential number.
There's only one.
Superhumans versus mechas.
Yeah.
Hyper technology advanced versus hyper physical advanced. Technologically advanced, physically advanced. Now let me make this clear that no one is stupid.
No, this is Mikey's ideal world. Nobody can be stupid. Retardation is shunned. Also, I can
That's
say
the thing, but no one is stupid.
Also, I can say retard because I have autism.
No one is stupid.
This could be
Everyone is
very-
smart. It's just that the superhumans or the pole people have no need for technology.
They would still probably use it.
They do. But they have no need for the technology in the same way that the Equator people do.
Do cars exist?
Maya, the Equator people have mechs,
Do cars exist?
and the people in the poles don't really have to travel across. They don't have to go that far. They probably travel about 100 miles.
On foot?
Yes, Maya. They could probably jump half the distance. They're superhuman, hyper muscular, hyper height super beings.
So cars don't exist, so the movie Cars doesn't exist in this universe. It's a shitty universe, Mikey.
You wouldn't think so if you were in that universe.
Does Shrek exist?
Maya. Oh my god.
Did they make the Shrek movies?
Who knows?
Probably not.
I haven't thought about that.
But you will get to it.
I don't know. Unless I want to sit here and talk about it for a day or two.
Hope you need a day to discuss whether or not Shrek's in this universe.
Right now, that's such a small thing that if I were gonna run through all the big things and get to the small things,
Do memes exist?
superhumans versus mechas.
Me and the boys going to fight against some mechas from the Equator. Oh man, there could be an entire subgenre of memes just for this idea.
Memes? How? How would there be anything meme-worthy coming out of this?
Me and the boys going to fight against the fucking
That's
betas.
That's not a subgenre of memes, and you can't even call them betas. Because what they lack in strength and physical attributes, they have made up for technologically.
Me and the boys going to fight the robots from the Equator.
But that's not a subgenre, that's just a meme format being used in this context. It's not a subgenre of memes.
When you hook up with a hottie online but find out she's from the poles.
Are you under the assumption? Are you under the stereotypical assumption that because the people... I'm looking at you, not the camera. Don't look at the camera, look at me. Are you under the assumption
My brain
that the
operates in
people
beams.
from the poles, because they are strong and tall, they have to look stupid?
What? No. What? No.
Well then, where did you get the concept that, when you hook up with a woman online, but then you find out she's from the poles?
Well, yeah, because there's bound to be people who discriminate against the poles or the Equator because
You're right.
it's like...
I'm the one who's in my own head. but we've already established.
Yeah,
that.
we need to apply the real world xenophobia to this made up universe. Hi, I'm Mikey now.
I don't know why you're going there.
This video is up to 40 minutes long. This is gonna take forever to upload. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Monica by my side, a little bit of Monica is all I am, a little bit of you makes me your man. Can we get one like on this video for Doki Doki Literature Club Monica, please? Like, all the Doki Dokis deserve better. Especially not Suki, though. Like, she definitely deserved better. Especially Sayori, too! Fucking hell, all the girls deserved better. But actually, just... A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Monica by my side, a little bit of Monica is all I need, a little bit of you. Wait, no. Hello, everybody. It's Markiplier. I think I'm funny, but in reality, I'm not. Also, Markiplier, like, when I go to read a fan fiction or when I sleep, he's there. And one time I found a fucking pink mustache pencil topper in my house. Look, Markiplier's going to kill me, or at the very least, if I die and go to hell, he's going to be the demon that tortures me. And that's a fact. Okay? That's a fact. Fact. That's a fact. It's a fact. And look, Markiplier's a good YouTuber. He's going to kill me. He's going to murder me, and he's completely justified in doing that. Oh, look, one time I had a dream where I annoyed the crap out of Markiplier at, like, a fucking live show or something. And he specifically went out of his way to beat me up. I would have felt honored if not for the fact that, holy shit, I'm dying because of Markiplier. That's the only time I've ever died in a dream, by the way. Because of Markiplier. And he haunts me. He haunts me, people. Okay? Okay? Heed my warnings. And my warnings are Markiplier. Mikey! What are you doing? My scalp is so dry. A little bit of Monica by my side. A little bit of Monica in my life. A little bit of Monica in my life. A little bit of Monica by my side, a little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Monica right here. Oh right, I can always just pause. And we're back from that short break. But yeah, Markiplier is totally gonna kill me, okay?
Yep.
Okay, you better start wrapping this video up quick.
Fine. Let me say my piece, and then we can end it. So, basically where we're at now is superhumans versus mechas. There's conflict at the borders between the equator and the poles. It really kind of seems like the equator is being oppressed because they're being attacked by two fronts. Because the poles are only offensive. And they're not even fighting each other. But I feel like when they do eventually start fighting each other, that's when the equator has been diminished. And then it's just people from the poles going across to fight each other. And then eventually, well, this is really up for interpretation of the ending, the final outcome. But it could be that one of the poles establishes global domination, or the equator wins. Who knows? You decide. Epic rap battles of history.
You brought that up last.
I know, because you can always say you decide, and they always say that in epic rap battles of history.
Alright, well, goodbye. Bros, House of Mangoes. From your good pals here at Mango Incorporated.
Non-affiliated.
No, you're affiliated.
No.
Yeah, you are.
No.